Very good morning from Abu Dhabi International Airport and welcome to another YouTube video. If you're directly watching this episode without watching the first episode where I traveled Indigo from Mumbai to Abu Dhabi and reviewed them, go watch that first to understand this better. I will link that video down in the description below. But in this YouTube video, I'll be reviewing Etihad Airways and I'll be flying with them from Abu Dhabi all the way till Paris. And I've already got my bags checked in. I again had a sort of fiasco episode here in Abu Dhabi when I landed because they won't give me a visit visa which I should be eligible for because I have a US visa on my passport, and if you have any sort of US visa on your Indian passport, then you are eligible to get an on arrival visa of 14 days, but they won't ready to get me that. So I was trying to get my bags checked in directly without claiming them, but that didn't work. So I again tried my luck at immigration and luckily they let me through this time. So I collected my bags, checked them again here at the Etihad Terminal 3 in Abu Dhabi. It's amazing, it's really fast, it's really quick, the staff is really full. And right now I am here at my boarding gate, that is gate number 41. The boarding opens at 6:30 and it's currently around 5:30 now, so I've just got another hour to kill. So I might just go and look around and try to find some food or just catch up on some work, reply a few messages. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do right now, but yeah, I'm excited to go to Paris and yeah, take you guys along. So let's get started. While I was waiting for my flight to start boarding, I went around the airport in hunt of something to eat, but because of COVID, most of the food places were closed down. So I got this chicken tikka wrap from one of the places that was open. To be honest, it was the only place that was open. But before I knew it was time to start boarding soon, and once again, luck was not in my favor today because I had to board through a remote gate, which meant a bus ride until there, and the bus was pretty crowded to be honest, but I didn't really mind that because I got some really good views of the aircrafts lying on the tarmac, and if you're an aviation enthusiast like me, you would definitely enjoy that. As soon as I stepped foot on the aircraft, I could clearly say that this was a very recently delivered plane from its bright colors and new seats. And for this flight, I was seated in the back of the aircraft on seat 38A, which is a window seat. Alright, so got all settled into my seat and we were lucky enough to get the latest Dreamliner from Etihad, which just inducted in the fleet. So everything is brand new, it's an entirely new economy cabin, bright colors, it's really good, and I'll show you seat in just a moment. Each Etihad Airways aircraft comes with an individual pillow and a blanket which is very soft. The headrest on this seat is completely different from what I've seen in other aircrafts, but it is completely adjustable and the other end of it is kind of hardened for you to lay your head on while sleeping so it doesn't move out of place, which is kind of good. So talking about the aircraft, it is laid out in a 333 configuration. The seat in front of you has an entertainment system which is completely full screen. More on that later. Next to it is a USB-A hub for charging, headphone slot for your headphones, a universal power point for charging your devices again. Below it is a tray table which is fairly decent sized. You can keep it in partially or completely open modes, and it has a cup holder as well. Now you can adjust the tray table depending upon how you like to use it during the meal service, and it is a pretty decent size for a tray table. Once you close the tray table, you will find storage spaces below where there is the aircraft safety manual, and there is another pocket where you can store personal stuff like your passport and your boarding pass during the flight. Now talking about the legroom is not as good as I thought. It is even lesser than what I had on Indigo, but it was bearable, and if I reclined my seat it would have been much better, but I was kind of struggling and I expected much better on this new aircraft from Etihad on the legroom side of things. After I settled into my seat, it was more of a waiting game as I waited for boarding to be completed. So we're almost 20 minutes late from our departure time it was 7:30 and right now it's 7:50. But the flight is pretty empty, to be honest. There is no one, and I got lucky, I guess. And I've got an entire row to myself, as you can see. Just one sitting right there. So yeah, it's like my own lie flat bed. This is gonna be one hell of a comfortable flight to Paris. After a delay of almost an hour, we finally pushed back to taxi, and within minutes we were on the runway taking off out of Abu Dhabi on a bright, clear morning.
By yourself, I have an open invitation, but you're telling me go get lost. I don't wanna see your face. Yeah, what the hell? So why don't we stay out to the morning light?
Right after takeoff, I started browsing through the in-flight entertainment system in the hope of finding something to watch during the flight. But I didn't really find anything, but that's okay. But soon after breakfast arrived, and I got this idli along with sambar and some pulao rice. It's some weird kind of meal, and I didn't really have a choice. But along with that, I got a strawberry jam, some yogurt, a warm piece of bread, which was not really warm, and I got this chocolate nutty bar. Along with this, for beverage, I got some tea, and I got the metal cutlery, which is highly appreciated, especially in economy class. All airlines don't do it, so yeah, that was pretty much what I got for breakfast. Okay, a quick update on the food side of things. So I had the entire meal and it was terrible. I hated it. It was so bad. I just couldn't finish it off. It was a very bad combination of some pulao rice along with idli and sambar, and it just didn't make sense at all. It was so bad. I just couldn't eat it at all. After the meal service, I decided to take full advantage of the empty row that I had to myself, and I laid back comfortably as I started watching a Netflix show on my iPad that I downloaded prior to the flight. And it's a good travel hack to download shows and movies on your devices prior to a long flight, even if your flight has an in-flight entertainment system. But after a few hours of watching, I decided to catch up on some sleep because I was feeling very tired as I had not got enough sleep on my previous flight. When I woke up from my decent 2.5 hours of sleep, we were flying somewhere over Munich, Germany, and this flight to Paris was almost coming to an end. Now let's talk about the Etihad in-flight entertainment system, and I feel they do a pretty good job over here. There is a good choice of movies offered, including latest releases such as Black Widow, and if you are interested in watching Bollywood, then there is a fair amount of choices on that front as well. Overall, the movies kind of lag when compared to other airlines such as Emirates and Qatar, which offer much more choices. But other than that, this in-flight entertainment system has everything, right from a map to games, everything that you will find to keep yourself busy and occupied on a long flight. Soon after, we started our descent into Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, and I decided to spend the rest of my time looking at the views the window had to offer.
We're just doing what we're feeling right now. So Chardonnay, we camp in the parking lot. Leave traces of plastic cups. We're just doing what we're feeling right now. So what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get. So what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? So what the
Guys, I really wanted to give this Etihad video a conclusion, but I didn't really get the time to shoot that because the situation happened here in Paris. So my Etihad Airways flight landed an hour late, and I had another Air France flight to Miami, which was supposed to be leaving in 15 minutes, and it was across terminals, so I had to make the run, and that's why I didn't get any time to, make the conclusion part to this vlog. But unfortunately, I missed that flight as well, and I was forced to spend the entire night here in Paris in transit because I have my new flight now at 10:20 headed to Miami. But I really wanted to give my thoughts about Etihad Airways. Firstly, let's talk about the on-ground service they gave me in Abu Dhabi. That was really, really good. The check-in was quick. They help you pass security and all that. The staff is very friendly. Even on board the new Dreamliner, we got really lucky to see the new seats, and they were very, very good. The leg room, everything was perfect. Even the infotainment, even though I didn't use it, had plenty of choices. I always feel that Middle Eastern carriers have a very good IFE system compared to other airlines. The only part that I would complain about the onboard service was the food. I didn't really like the food because the crew told me something else and I got something else, and the crew was also not aware what were the food choices, and they didn't even give out menus or told us properly what the food options were. So I didn't really appreciate that. But yeah, food was the only bad part. Now the real fiasco, like it has been happening all day, started when I landed in Paris. I was told I would miss my flight, but I still made the run for it because I knew I had to get to Miami the same day. But unfortunately I couldn't make it over there. So now Air France changed my ticket because the flight was with them all the way till Miami, and the next flight out was only today morning, so they booked me on that flight. But I had to spend the entire night here in Paris, so Etihad Airways had to give me a hotel and food vouchers because of course I would be eating or drinking throughout the night and next morning for breakfast. Firstly, there was no Etihad Airways representative I could talk to. All the communication happened through Air France, and they're not even partners completely like Air France, KLM, and Delta are. So I was very, very constrained, and Etihad Airways in the end ended up not giving me a hotel. The hotel that you see right now here in Paris, I bought it with my own money. So really bad of you, Etihad, on that part. I've been hungry all night and day in the morning yet because I received no food vouchers, nothing of that sort from you, considering the delay was on your part, and I would have easily made my flight if your flight was not 1 hour delayed here into Paris. So I should say never trust Etihad Airways ground services in any other airport other than Abu Dhabi because they're pretty bad. The staff doesn't even pick up phone when another airline tries to call them, and you can end up in a situation like me, stuck completely knowing what to do because other airlines won't pay for your hotel. If a delay is caused by a certain airline, they are responsible for putting you in a hotel, giving you food and all that, and Etihad Airways didn't do it. So I was stuck the entire night here in Paris, and in the end I decided to get a hotel because I definitely had more than 10 hours of layover, and I was very tired after running through terminals trying to get a hotel. So yeah, that was my experience with Etihad Airways. I would really again tell you people not to transit through a terminal or a airport where Etihad Airways doesn't operate unless it's Abu Dhabi. So yeah, that was pretty much it about Etihad Airways, but the onboard service was really good, and I also heard that they give student discounts. Also, all the important resources that I used to book my flights, including the resources for student discounts that certain airlines give, will be listed down in the description below if you want to check that out. And if you want to join the Qatar Airways Student Club, there will be my referral link down in the description. You can use that to get a few extra miles to get started. When you sign up using that link, you will get points, I'll get points. It's a mutually fair deal. So yeah, go check that out and make sure you get use of the student discounts that you are eligible for. But yeah, that's it from this YouTube video. Do subscribe to the channel to take a look at the next part of my journey. It is Air France from Paris to Miami. Like this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.